Hey, how's it going, everyone? Can you guys hear me okay? Please let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm just gonna see. What's up, Hydra? How's it going? David Dixon. What's up, Tim? AJ, Blondes, Burgess, Den, Ryzen, Nick, Yiper. What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me okay, loud and clear? Okay. All right, so not trying to do my stuff public as much anymore. I just, it's never been about followers and likes to me, man. It's just, what's up, Rudy? It's always just been about, this chart, just trying to read this best so I can make the best play. I'll give you guys like my thoughts on how everything I see it unfolding. You guys know I'm tracking, I'm looking at this NASDAQ and like the stuff that's happening, and we're getting like, oh my gosh, it's like if this continues to slip here, I'm telling you, man, my focus is the buy. I think that this is like no doubt, like if you're in crypto and let me go to I'll just go to XRP real quick. And then by the way, this is XRP on the 3-week. I'm like looking at these two like towers here, and I'm like, I wonder if it's gonna match another tower here, which is what I think happens anyways. I think we go sub 20. This little pocket down here, some of you guys that are on with Jaitan, what's up, dude? Hope you're well, man. I think that this gets filled down here, and some of you guys that are on following Tori and on innovation markets and stuff like that, that's where his mind's at as well. I think that all comes through. Let me go to like basic attention token. I'll just use that as an example because it's kind of a in between, chart, right? So here's where my mind's at. Oh, let's do a nice little pull down right now. Still got a little bit. 2 hours to go. So here is where my mind has been and what has happened, if you guys are wondering. And by all means, you don't have to follow me. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Do I think I'm going to end up in a good position? I do. But my path sometimes is very stressful unless you're feeling what I'm feeling and seeing what I'm seeing. So if you're seeing what I'm seeing and you feel it and your emotions are there with it and you truly believe in it and you have faith in it because you did the work, then you don't get bothered by maybe feeling like you're being left behind. So my focus isn't to time the top. My focus isn't to say, because this is where I sold right here on a lot of assets, right? And this one is now, you can see, so if I sold here, if I bought back in on basic attention token, which is 40% higher, I would, have less coins. I was okay with that. I was okay with these moves. I was okay with it. I'm not focused on that. I truly felt that we needed to come back down here, clear out down here, hit these gaps, and close some gaps. So my mindset from this point forward, as I've been super patient, is I want to buy properly. Because if I didn't see this, what would I be doing? I'd be doing the same thing I did back here when it fell. I would be holding, be in a bullish mindset the whole time, thinking we're going to keep going and keep going. And even though it'd be nice to time tops, I wouldn't be in the position mindset wise to say I'm going to exit right here. That would be me reading the fractal perfect and be like, nah, we're going to push up. I'm exiting right here. That would be me playing it as best as possible. But once again, that would mean that I would have to saw the crash and believe in a crash to be comfortable taking profits here. A lot of people aren't comfortable taking profits here because their mindset is we're going to keep going, and it's not that we're going to go down. So while I'm waiting and watching it go up a little bit more than where I've sold positions at, I'm okay with that. I already got it pulling back down because I know that if it slips down, and once it slips back down right here quickly, I'm already now in that position that I wanted to be in. My mindset is there. I am now under where I sold, because if I sold it here at September 1st on pretty much everything, it's now below me. I'm like, I can buy back in, and now I'm going to reap high reward already because of it's already below me again. But right now, it's a little bit above me. So am I panicking? Am I bothered? No, I'm okay. Why? Because my money's protected. I'm not losing money. So once again, when you sell, I'm not losing money. I'm selling something in profits, and I'm being patient because I'm focused on a buy, because I think a buy comes through, a great buy for me. That imagine taking in pretty much taking all your assets, put it into stable and fiat or whatever, and being able to buy something so low that you saw and just being patient, that's where the reward comes. Because I know we're going to be going out of here. I know we're going to be going back up. My big thing is I felt we had another move down. I felt we had another move down. So if you're wondering, that's my patience and waiting is all I'm waiting for. So these things can push up a little bit. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not bothered by that. Because I know a lot of people back then, I'm just looking at my portfolio grow, and I'm watching my portfolio grow. I'm not selling. And I'm hoping that it keeps going. But next thing you know, it rolls over and it crashes. And then when it's down here, I wish I would have shorted. It's always that moment. You're in the moment and you think you're in, everything's fine. And then next thing you know, that moment's gone. So what this can be, while some can be like, oh, you're missing out a little bit. It's a little higher than you. I'm like, that's fine. This could be just a temporary moment, because next thing you know, it comes down and I'm like, well, there goes that moment. I'm glad I stayed patient. I'm glad I controlled my emotions. So anyways, I'm just sharing where my mind's at. So if you're wondering how I'm playing it and what I'm thinking, I'm going to give it to you right here. But I'm not telling you have to follow me, because once again, people can sell with me. But if they do that and this pushes up and these moments will make you think you're being left behind and you're super bothered that you should have held. Well, once again, what do you want? Do you want to be able to see that there's a crash ahead and be right on that? Or do you want to not see that there's a crash and just hope that everything's good? Because the way life is, it's only going to give you one or the other. So in order for me to see the bottom that I think I'm going to see, we'll see if that's true or not. But I would have to. It gave it to me. Life gave it to me. It said, here, I'm going to give you it, man. You're going to see things pretty clearly, but I'm going to get you where it's going to bait you right here, making you think you doubted yourself, Chris. You're going to doubt yourself when this is pushing like this. So I have to be able to handle that. So a lot of people might not want to be able to handle that. They might not like that. That's a lot of emotions. They feel like they're getting left behind. They're not going to become rich, right? And then all the Twitter and all that stuff on Twitter is going to make the mind think that as well. So I'm okay with that. I'm like, because I know that I can always buy something else. Plus, I still believe, I'm like, the gaps get closed, this thing comes down, and the stocks, it's just stuff, they're printing money. There's just too much that doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, no, Chris, stay grounded and trust that there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense, and you have to understand that it's not going to be blue skies and butterflies, bro. And I'm going to give you a little bit more as I keep going. So let's go to Dow Jones right now, and I'm going to show you why. Well, let me do this. Here's basic attention token versus Tyrion, right? So somebody asked me earlier what's the deal with Tyrion? And the deal with Tyrion is that when we fell here in March, look at the screen below, bat. Okay, I'm not focused on candles. I'm not focused on anything other than moves, behavior. In the sense that don't worry about this right now. I'm just going to mark this one up here. I'm looking at this behavior down, up, and then it's like over, and like that one didn't. This could have popped up more if it wanted to, but it already did it in the middle. And then I'm looking at it going down, right? So let me take that off. So if you look at this chart this way and say, okay, well, they both fell down together. Boom. I got that. That's a wash. Then Tyrion goes and pushes up and skyrockets nice strong in the middle here, where basic attention token, it didn't do it as strong, but it did a little hump here in the middle. That's my move that I was looking for. And then from this point on, when I was watching Tyrion draw, I then said, okay, well, we just need to push up a little bit and then we're going to fall. Well, what ended up happening? Well, it pushed it up stronger here. And I still think that this thing completely falls, which would then follow this fractal. The difference is that all these things can do sometimes to fake me out is it'll flip-flop these two in ways, meaning that this one is a small hill and then this is the big push-up, which is what's happening here on basic attention token. And if you just look at how it creates this like kind of V up here in the middle, where it's like a V here and stuff, not that we need to really focus on stuff like that, but those little things teach me what I need to, what I need to see. And not only did basic attention, Tyrion did this, but I noticed what Ripple XRP was doing. Okay, so when you put XRP up next to it, and let me just do that now. XRP was one of the first ones to do this push up and down, right? So here it is now, which I could have had TNT here, where we had the fall, right? We then push up to this middle point. You can see basic attention tokens at the same level with it. You see us right here? And then what happened? XRP went down and then it pushed up aggressively, right? And created this mountaintop, and then it ended up crashing down. So when this never did that, so XRP was one of the first ones to do it. You can see basic attention token was a delay, and then it finally did it. So the way I look at it is I'm like, well, you're just doing right now what XRP did. This doesn't mean that it needs to go and follow and do exactly the same print as XRP, no. But you're showing me that you're going up just like XRP went up. XRP went down, and I know some of you guys might be like, well, this is SEC news, Chris. That's the reason why. My answer to that is I'm like, well, the chart was showing me this beforehand, which is why I was already saying sub 20 and things. It was already showing me on the fractal TNT and stuff that we needed to come down. And on this mini fractal here that I was using, this data right here, we needed to come down. So that's why I was able to capitalize on this. I think it happens with all these other assets. So I'm giving you everything together again just to keep my mind fresh. Let me go back to Tyrion here. So this is where my head's at right now. Is I'm like, I don't think that that this just goes away, and I think that there's some truth to this. And once again, I'm not even saying that it needs to do all that. Look, this thing completely aggressively tanked. No, but I'm saying that there is some downward movement that needs to take place from these assets. There needs to be some downward movement. And I think it comes at least back to that March area. We have gaps to close. We have gaps to close on it. So anyways, so this is me just kind of showing you guys from a Tyrion perspective that this took place, and needs to come down and fall. So down, up again, and then fall. So it's this move right here is this move right here to me. It just flip-flopped. Take the peak at the edge, put it in the middle, put that little guy in the edge. You'll have the same scenario. I think this thing comes down. So hold on one second. I got my buddy Jago that's go to my Twitter and look at my replies today. Okay, I just had to tell my buddy. All right, so this is what I'm looking at when it comes to crypto, and I can even throw another one on here. Let me throw OGN on here. I can throw tons of them on here. Even ADA that looks like pretty crazy. So if we go to OGN, which is origin, let me use that one right there. Okay, so here it is, same kind of concept. You see, you guys will probably start to see the behavior. This was the March crash right here, and you can see this middle peak here is this middle peak, and then it comes down, and I think it folds. So it comes over here, I think it folds. So you can see the way it's behaving right now. I'm sure all you guys watching this, you're like, I don't really like this like mountaintop. It kind of looks like this setup. It kind of looks like this setup right here on this edge. Absolutely, you shouldn't like it. I don't like it. But I was looking for it because I've been waiting to get to this point, and it just wanted to push up and piss me off. But it is what it is. But I think this stuff completely comes down. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to so that's just from a crypto perspective. Now, if we add in, let's go to this Dow Jones perspective. What's up, Ashton? I'll answer. What's up, Scuderia? Let me go to Dow Jones here, and now let's look at this. This is really what I wanted to go over with you guys. So I showed you what crypto is probably supposed to do. Here's Dow Jones. Let me slide this away. Hold on one second, guys. Replies today. Okay, so let's look at this from this perspective here. And this was, I showed you guys this before on that last video, so we're going to take away the drawings. I think in these moves where it comes down once, it comes down twice, it comes down 3 times, I think there's a 4th time. Does that match what I was just showing you? Yes, that matches that. I'm telling you that this is why I'm like still kind of stuck on it, because not only do I see it from a crypto perspective that this needs to slide down, I've been waiting for it, but I also come from this Dow Jones perspective, and I'm like, it likes to do that. 1, 2, 3. There's these like 3. It can drop this bomb in here. Some narrative, something could happen. I don't want to be holding. I want to be the guy that buys the bottoms. I want that. I think I deserve that. I think some of you guys deserve that as well. You know, I think we deserve this. And I'll go over XRP in a second, guys. Let me show you some other stuff on this because it likes to do this in here. I think that this comes down to this point. It would make sense across the board with just the narrative and everything that's going on. And I'm going to give you guys something else that, see, okay, look, see how it's doing it here? You see this behavior here where it's dropping these lines in? You see how many there are right here? Just think of that behavior happening here again on a bigger scale. I'm telling you, it likes to draw that. It loves doing that little, this little, there it is. It would be like us doing this right here. That would be like our move right here. Boom, or boom, I don't care. It's where I think that's all we need, and I think it's done. If you guys want something interesting to watch, and I'm not trying to get your minds on this bearish stuff, I want you to go and type in on YouTube. Type in 1929, the March night. I'm sorry, the 1929 stock crash. Sorry, I'm like thinking as I'm scrolling here, and I want you to pull up this chart while you're watching it right here. Okay, see this crash right here, 1929 stock market crash. It's so interesting. It's about an hour long. You can type it on YouTube. Here, I'll just show it to you. So you guys know. You'll enjoy watching this. You can watch it later tonight or whatever. 1929 stock market crash, right? And it's a documentary. So right here, it says it's Trading Coach UK. It's right here, the documentary, okay? Watch this. It is so interesting, like compared to what we're doing today. You'll find it very fascinating. And the reason why I'm mentioning it is that it talks about celebrities all getting involved and stuff. It's the same shit happening again. Once again, I could be wrong here. I'm not going to be the guy that thinks I'm 100% right and I'm always going to be right. No. But what I'm saying to you guys is, and what I feel like I have a lot of data, and everything is really telling me that, hey man, don't just think everything's fine, Chris, and buy and just hold. Don't think that everything's fine. You need to be aware that there might be a big massive crash on the horizon, and you're seeing and it's giving me what I need, the data. I'm getting the data from, obviously researching like a madman, and I research other people's stuff too. I'm like, all right, what do you see? And then, I got my gaps and stuff. I think I have a lot of data. I think that's very helpful. And I'm going to just kind of click through these right now with you guys on here so you guys can see. These are gaps. I'm going to go through a bunch of gaps for you guys right now. So I'm giving you, I know it's kind of like a scattered, but I just want to throw it all out there and say, look, this is everything I'm looking at. This is why I am the way that I am. This is why I believe what I'm believing, and why I'm being cautious, and why I'm being patient. The power of patience. That's why I'm being patient. So here's ADA. I can go pull more ADA charts, but this is my main ADA. Look at all the gaps below. Do I think it can come down here to 2 cents? Am I going to wait for 2 cents? No. But am I thinking that it goes under 8 cents? Absolutely. Am I going to strike under here and start buying ADA? Absolutely. Do I think that this wick, Tori taught me this with Innovation Markets. Do I think these wicks hold weight? Yes. They a lot of times fill the wicks. So if this wick is all the way down to 15 cents, I'm already telling you, I think ADA easily comes down to 15 cents, but I even think it comes down and closes these gaps. So if this was the case and you're sitting there, or you bought, or you're holding, just know, just be prepared, in my opinion, to watch 85% if you bought. Or if you bought here, I don't care. Even if you bought down here, it's fine. You're obviously not going to get like work too bad. But just know that I'm not buying this. I am not investing in this. Absolutely not. If it wants to leave the building, then leave the building on me. I'm trying to make wise decisions here. And I don't think the reward is in my favor. I think the risk is in my favor to really hurt me here if I bought ADA, or even if I bought right here at 33 cents. Yes, if I'm doing trades, that's a different story, because you'd be like, oh, there's 243%, Chris. Why wouldn't you buy right here? I would if I knew I was going to sell and I'm going in the short mode. I'm going to short it right there because I knew it was an extra push-up. I do that sometimes. But the average person, the average mindset that's bullish and is holding, they're not going to sell this. They're not going to sell it. They're going to hold it. And they would then hold it and watch it come all the way down here. And who knows, it'll stay down there maybe for a couple months. I think it recovers. But once again, just a miss. I mean, they'll just have to sit there and wait, and they're going to probably, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe they'd wish that they sold some or had money to buy more down here, or next thing you know, there's job loss happening because the way the crash is happening, people are losing their jobs. They're now being pressured to sell some of their crypto to get by. So then they're like, oh, I'll just pull a little bit. So now they're selling low. Watch this stuff happen like this, man. It'll pin, the economy can pin people, the masses, in a position where they're like, you have no money, you lost your job, but you have some of these, you still have some ADA. And then next thing you know, your wife's trying to tell you to sell it. And you're like, no. We're like, honey, we need to get by. We need food for the kids. And next thing you know, you're selling at low levels. Once again, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's 100% going to happen, but let me just keep clicking here. I think these all come through. That's all. So if we go with the algo, look at algo. I'm just going to pull this up real quickly. There goes algo 1. Here goes another algo. You can see sometimes I have a lot of gaps. Sometimes I don't have very many. There goes another third one. Here goes a fourth algo chart with gaps. There's only one there. Even AOA, I have those ones are above. I don't have any gaps down below here. Band. This is another one. Sorry, I'm watching a dog and it's barking like crazy right now. So here goes band right here. It shows comes down. Band shows it comes down here. Once again, I can go through all these and you guys will be like, holy crap, there's a lot of gaps below a lot of these. And there's multiple charts. I'm not just showing you on one. I just have a lot of charts with a lot of gaps below. These are all basic. These are all Bitcoin caches right here. You can see that got closed the other day. See, there was a gap there I had and that wick closed it, but I still have all these gaps. So anyways, I could slide through this whole thing. I can go through DOT. I can go through, I mean, I still think this EOS dominance gap gets closed. I think it gets closed. Why? Why isn't this closed yet? Well, because the market needs to come down. So yeah, this is EOS. Look how fat that gap is. That's a big gap on EOS that needs to get closed. That's back in August of 2017. Hasn't even happened. Is that possible? Absolutely. Here goes Ethereum. This one has just collected a ton of gaps. Ethereum. So anyways, I'm not gonna go through this whole thing, but if you look on the right column here, you're gonna notice these are all gap charts. Here goes Link. I can show you some Link. I'm sure some of you guys want to see that. I think I got look at this Link chart right here. Ton of them, right? Digibyte. Yeah, if you guys go ahead, there's not that many of you guys in here. I throw out a coin, and if I have it, I'll pull it up. Here goes Digibyte. So do I have a lot on Digibyte? No, I just have the only one I have on Digibyte right now is 4, but I haven't looked at anything else. So all I got is a 4 center right now. So at least I know it comes down to that. But if you guys have any other ones, ICX, look at ICX. Some of you guys in innovative markets, you guys want to buy some of this. I want to buy it too. I got to be patient. All right. So H bar, I got H bar. So here I got 2 on H bar. So here goes H bar gaps. So if you're looking at what I'm finding here, this is 1.7 cents, 1.4, 1.1 on H bar. I also got a pack down here. This is coming down to that January 2020 area. These are very, very low gaps. Do they 100% happen? I'm not betting against them. I don't have quant, so I can't do that one for you, Mick. Sushi, I don't have this on here, Rudy. I can't do that one. XRP, I got a ton on XRP. I'll just give you one of my basic ones because I got them down at all right, so I got gaps right now. We're at 45 cents. We got a 34 on XRP. We got a 26. We got a 25, and we got a 23. And then I also have a let me slide down. I got a 16 cent gap, and then I know that there's a 15 cent gap. So those are all XRPs. VeChain, I got some VeChain here, and I got UTK, Rudy. I'll do UTK. I'm pretty sure I got that one. Yep, right here's UTK. Look at all the UTK gaps, bro. So I know it's up high, man. I just don't feel good about leaving the building and never coming back to here when I got all these. So 3 cent, 2 cent, 1 cent, dude, half a penny. I know that sounds unreal. I know, but I have too many across the board. So either way, I'm like, this thing comes back. VeChain. Look at VeChain stacked in here, dude. This March, it's telling me the March wants to get attacked again. The March lows wants to get attacked. That's what it's telling me, because I have too many across the board. And if you guys are part of Tori's group and his innovation markets, look at this. Look at this VeChain chart. This is gaps. This is my most I've ever seen on a chart. This is VeChain, Tether, Hitbit, and it's just just piles and piles and piles and piles of gaps that tell me you need to come back down to the March lows. So I'm banking on this. So if you're rolling with my thoughts and my approach, then you need to be somebody that believes the gap's closed. If you don't believe they're closed, then that's fine. This probably won't resonate with you. But if you're like, you know what, man, I think some of these got to get closed, we're coming back, then you would be preparing to buy these gaps. Tell and Force, I don't have that one. Sorry. Some of these I don't have. XDC, I don't have that on here because they don't really have a good clean chart for me. Harmony 1, I got Harmony 1. How many do I got on this? Do I have anything on this? Yeah, there you go. Harmony 1. See, when there's spikes like this, I think that's where it could go, where it'll eventually go. It might not do it now, but if this all pulls back and it starts to pull back, I think that these gaps get filled. Down here again. Once again, that March area. It's targeting that March area. Crow, do I have Crow on here? Some of these I can remember. Dash, somebody asked for Dash. I got Dash here. Yeah, so right now, Dash, 78 bucks, 67, 63, 61, 45. I got those gaps. Who else? Dude, even Luna. Look at Luna. I got a bunch of gaps on Luna, and Luna's up high. You know, I got a bunch of gaps saying it comes back down. Dude, all this has to do is pull that Tyrion where it pulls down like that and pulls down. Here's how they all happen. I know they're high, but whenever if there's a market crash that's 90% across the board, here's 95. That's how it happens. So if you're wondering how it happens, it's because the whole market, all markets crash 90%. If they all crash 90, 95%, I don't care where you're at. You come back down to these levels, you'll go from $6 down to a quarter. Happens. It can happen. How do we use TradingView to find gaps? You just go through the charts. You pick an asset. So if like somebody wanted me to look at Zcash, let me see if I have Zcash. I'll just do some examples. Look at all these ZRXs. I don't have Zcash. I got Stellar. I got XRP. I got Tezos. I got ZIL. I got ZRX. I got VChain. WTC. Rudy. I got two right now. 24 cent and 21 cent. But what you do is you just go up here, type in ZEC and start off with Kraken, and then maybe start off with Qcoin. I do the US dollars or tethers mostly. You would click this. I would then go all the way down to 1 hour. That's where I usually go. And then this is how I do it. And then I scroll and I spread this out a little bit. And what I do is I start scanning. And once I start from the beginning to back. So what we do is we look for gaps real quick. And then if we don't see any, we have to go to this wick here and go from here looking, because anything above this wick gets closed out. So we have to go from this wick, meaning that I have to now look from this point down, right? Because if I'm looking up here, they'll get closed. Everything's been closed. So I then come from here and I'll start scrolling through here looking for them. And I do it very quickly because I'm used to doing it. My eyes are already prepped. You almost catch one right here. So I'd almost look, is that a gap here? But it's not. It's been closed. It's fine. Is there a gap here? Kinda. There's kind of a gap there. Am I going to use that one? I might skip that one. I want bigger ones than that, but that's kind of a gap there, but I'm not going to hold any weight to it. I'm pretty picky with my gaps sometimes. I don't just say anything's a gap. So, do we have any here? No, nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Nope, that wick goes there, so I got to go underneath that wick. So we got to go at $46 and see if anything back here at $46 comes through. Let's go to the March maybe. So these wicks are closing out gaps if there's anything. All right, so now we're underneath $46. Now we're going to look some more. Here we go. Here we go. Doing this one live with you guys, man. So here we go. We got to be under 46. So that gap got closed right there. I'm going to show you. I'm going to click this one. So this gap got closed. I'm going to show you how it got closed, but I got one right here. Look at all the gaps now coming alive. Got them right here too. See them? That's a nice good one right there. It's nice and clean. And when I have a group of them, that's what I like. I like a group of them, you know. That one got closed right there. You see it? It got closed by that move right there. So, do I have anything over here? Nope, 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 nope. So that's all I would have for that. There's nothing else. But you can see some of them getting closed. That got closed right there. This one right here got closed by these. I don't have any more gaps. Is there anything lower? No, that's where it ends. So what I do is, that's my completion of the chart. I'm going to go to a daily. hit auto, go look at it, see if I got them right. Nope, those two gotta go. See the wick took them out? The wick took both of those out, so this has got to be deleted. It's been closed. This has got to be deleted. It's been closed. So I got a 45 on that, and that's Zcash versus Qcoin. I then come up here, I type in ZEC, and I go to that Qcoin chart, and I click it, and that's now logged for one of my gaps. So I would then go and continue. I'd go through ZEC, and I would go to, who's the next one? Sometimes I'll do Coinbase sometimes, see if Coinbase has any. I've had them on Coinbase, but you see how there's not a lot of data on Coinbase, so I don't really have a lot of history here, but let's just go look anyways to see if it's dropping some gaps for us. And I'll stop that in a second, so you guys, but I'm just giving you guys a little bit angle how I do it. So that's how I do this. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing. And you probably are like, why you're looking at them quickly. I'm just so used to it, my eyes. So there's nothing on this because there's no, that wick closed it out. So there's nothing on this. I already checked a bunch of quants. I can't, there was nothing, because if you go to QNT, look, this is all it gives me. 1, 2, 3. I would think that Bittrex on US dollar, I can usually find them there. Qcoin Tether, I can find them there. There's certain ones that give them to me. But I'm pretty sure that this doesn't have any. Anyways, I'm going to jump off this, but this is just giving you guys an example of adding into my analysis of, you know, well, Chris, why do you think it follows TNT? Why are you using the TNT? See, a lot of people don't understand. I'm not just using this as my ultimate guider. I go and look for more data to help me. So I then say, okay, well, I see what this is supposed to do. Let me go and let's go look at some gaps. And then next thing you know, we're looking at gaps right here, and we're going through all these charts, and they're all coming up with tons and tons and tons of gaps, you know. Let me just open this up more so. Like this. Now I'm like seeing all this. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, then this thing is going to come back down. Well, should it come back down? Well, this says it comes back down. Okay, well, if that says it comes back down and you got gaps that comes back down, you probably got a good probability that's going to come back down. Huh. Let me go see what Tori thinks. Hey, Tori, you've been doing this for a while. What do you got? Without me even showing him what I got. Hey, what do you got, man? He's just like, oh, I think we come back down to these levels. I'm like, why do you think that? Oh, well, it's just something about this needs to be tested. This never got tested. These wicks usually get filled. I can just swing high, swing low. I can see it come back down here before it ramps up. I'm like, thank you, Tori. You just helped me out a bunch. So I take that. I take the gaps, I take this, and I'm like, do I bet against it? Am I in a bullish mode where I think everything's good? And the answer is no, I don't. I don't think everything's good. I don't. So I want to buy properly. I want to be the guy that's aware of it and doesn't get caught off guard. So coming over to XRP, right? What are we at? 45 cents right now. Remember, I got gaps below. I have data showing me that it needs to slip. I got the mini fractal that I probably won't even go over on this, that I think slips also. And, you know, I just, this wick, like Tori says, he's like, these things, a lot of times they get filled. That means it'll come down there. The other thing is we have wicks, like there's wicks down here that need to get filled. And this is 18, 17. And I will not rule out 6 cents. People will make jokes about me like, oh, you think 6 cents? Are you still waiting on 6 cents? I'm not waiting on 6 cents. I'm not just going to wait for 6 cents to come through. I'm going to buy down in this area here, but I'm not going to wait for 6 cents to come through. But I won't be surprised if it did, is what I'm telling people. I won't, if it did, I'd be like, I'm not surprised. Why? Well, because I can see how it happens. You know, I can see how that happens. Let me go to Poloniex chart here. And look, you know, I'm big with like the triple cups that it likes to do sometimes, where it's like, you know, 1, 2, and I can see a 3 before it gets out of here, right? That's how this would happen. This would do this. And if it comes down here and tags 6 and then does this and then slides out of here, skits out of here, then there you go, skeet gone. It does that. That's why I'm not ruling it out. Plus, you know, just something about this little area here, you know, you could draw a trend line across this right here, I've done this before. Look where it's tagging right now. Look where XRP's tagging. It's tagging the top of this guy right now. But if you wanted to draw like this trend line, I mean, we can run it through here and not run it through the wicks. You can see why that circle that I circled before I even dropped this trend line can make sense. If we go to like a weekly, right? And once again, I'm not banking on this by any means, but I'm saying it goes down more. I think XRP goes down more. I don't think everything's good to go. When it broke this high here, right here, when it broke this, it never checked down on it before it left, right? And what would that do? Well, one can argue if you just you can come to this point right here and say, okay, well then if that's the case, run it across. Where's it putting us at? Well, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. It's putting us down here, so it's like, can that happen? And I'm like, well, yeah, it could happen. You know, I just drew it. You know, it could. This on the weekly can come down here. Next thing you know, we're dropping down like that. Bink. You know, and then this is like some crash, something that's happening in the world, in the USA or whatever, and then it's gone, and then I have 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup out of here. Does it need to do that? No, it doesn't need to do that. Do I think that it goes lower? Absolutely, I think it goes lower. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to buy XRP lower, which I think it at least comes down to sub 20 again, to this area here, where I will then start buying. And because I sold a bunch up here, I sold up here, I sold some here. Here's my sells. Sold here. I bought here. I then sold this pump when I knew they were doing that. Here's me selling shit. I'm selling shit all. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, here's me. I bought here, and then I sold, I sold, I sold, I sold, I sold, I sold, and I want to buy here. I want to buy down here. It's a complete score for me. Complete score. Some of you guys are probably doing it too. You know, so that's just something I'm doing with XRP. So now we're gonna get back over to that stock stuff. I want to go over to the stock stuff. That's what the main thing was for in this. But this is all leading up on why I think the stocks even fall and stuff like that anyways. And even Bitcoin, I think even Blockchain Backer was saying that Bitcoin, he's like, it comes back. He's like 99% chance it's coming back to. He said something down here. So he's already saying, look, it needs to come back. I know he feels that it probably goes out, comes back and it goes up. I feel this thing is way worse than that. I think this thing, if it matches the stocks, this whole thing is coming down very aggressively. So let's go to, wow, look at this Dow Jones right now, man. Dude, that video I showed you guys, let's put it up. Let me put up the, this thing came all the way back down. This is what I needed, man. This is what, holy shit, dude. I cannot believe this did this. I'm sure yesterday people were laughing like, dude, your damn chart didn't even follow. And I'm like, well, dude, maybe, I'm like, let me just give it a chance here and see what it does. Like, I'm not going to count it out so quickly. So BCB expects 29. All right, well, that matches well with what I'm like, where my mind's at. So let's go to, I'm going to go to a 2 hour. I cannot believe that fucking Dow Jones did this. Some of you guys are watching this. I think Jago and some of you guys, dude, I cannot believe it did this. Like, what a fucking fake out. So anyways, here was, let me go and put this on a 2 hour to 2 hour. It's insane. Insane. Let me stack it like this, side on top of each other like that, so we can look at what we're trying to follow here and see. Okay, so this is the crash of 2020, the COVID crash, and here we are. I don't think the dates are lining up anymore, as you guys know. By the 24th, I felt like we should have already been sliding down to this point down here. We're not. However, let me say this. Nasdaq's doing that. Cal, I'm not expecting to close all gaps. You know what? They probably all get closed. I'm just not banking on it. So if you're wondering how I'm playing the gaps, I'm not going to wait for the very last gap. I'm going to DCA and buy gaps as I DCA. That's a complete score for you guys, a complete score for me, everybody, man. Just reply the video later, Derek, but 14 to 13 cents. If the gaps get filled at 15 cents on the exchange that shows the gap, Kraken, will buy orders on other exchanges for the same price get executed? Do we have to trade on that exchange? Okay, great question, Aiden. I think that those, yes, that exchange is tied to that exchange. But what I've noticed is a lot of the other exchanges all have similar. So if there was a gap like way lower, like at 3 cents on Kraken, but there wasn't on another exchange and it was like 15 cents, I wouldn't, a flash wick might go down in Kraken to take that out. So I'm not counting the very last gap to make a buy. I'm looking at a group of them, and that's where I'm buying. I buy with a group of gaps. I don't buy where there's one lonely gap. That's too risky for me. If that should answer your question. So that's how I'm playing it. Yes, Con, at the end I'll highlight, if you stick around, I'll highlight the TNT fractal on some other assets. Yesterday was a stop loss hunt on shorts, in my opinion. Gotcha, Scuderia. Thank you. Do you think that if the gap gets filled on one exchange, that will only cause the price to drop on that exchange only? These gaps will get filled, and all the prices on all exchanges will go down. But if one, like I said, Chowboy, that if one of those exchanges is very unique and it has like this extra gap, very low, then that one will get that'll get a more of a drastic wick. A perfect example I'll show you guys is on and I'll just do it real quick, is on Kraken. So Kraken right here has a let me go to a daily here. So Kraken has more aggressive wicks recently, like on Ethereum. Look, see how Kraken has this Ethereum wick. So if there were some gaps here, it got closed, but the other exchanges didn't drop wicks like that, right? So if we go to Ethereum and just click Ethereum again right here, I don't want to erase this because I'm trying to keep this. You see how there's a baby wick here? However, that doesn't mean that that Kraken's not giving us insight. That Kraken might be giving us insight to let us know, hey, I'm going to drop some candles. I'm going to come down to this price. See, Kraken might be giving us insight saying, hey, we need to come down to this price. While Binance, which will come down to this price too, just isn't giving us any sort of insight. But like I said, if there's a gap that's low as hell on one exchange, don't think that it has to come through on the other exchanges. So once again, don't go off of the last gap and say, I'm going to buy the last gap. Just do it at the right area, the target area. It can go past the gaps. The gaps don't mean that's the end of the road. It can go past it, but at least you have a good guider, and it's like a wise approach, I wouldn't try to always time the full top and the full bottom, man. Just get what you, just big moves, man. If you can time those big moves, you'll be good. So let me slide this back out. And let's go back to this and let's see what took place here, because I had the moving averages cutting through right here, and I was expecting, instead of this to go up, I was expecting this to slide down into the 200 moving average, right? You see it right there? So this right here, this cup here is this cup here. It then comes up. It then comes up. And we were supposed to slide down through it. We didn't. We actually pushed up, but then came right back down. And now I'm doing it. So I'm like, is that where we're at right now? Are we playing this game right here? And are we gonna slide over? Well, let's look at this a little bit more. We're gonna, after this Dow Jones, we're gonna go look at NASDAQ, and we're gonna look at S&P. We're gonna compare these to compare them all. So it's an incredible fake out. I know that there was the Powell announcement here. So that could be what that is. People were like, oh, bot, and then the algorithm. Look, the algorithm said, no, we're coming back down. We have to go draw something. So the computer system said, no, we're coming back down. That could have been just a reason. They used that to spike it, and then people are selling on them. Wall Street is. But as you can see here, let me leave it like this so you can see this, how this shape is. Okay. We're still intact in the sense that this was our January 31st low. That was our January 31st right there as well. Like right down here is January 31st. Boom, boom. We then pushed up and we're rolling over. We then pushed up and we're rolling over. However, it threw this big candle here that made me doubt myself. And I'm like, what the fuck? Doesn't even seem right. Lo and behold, today comes right back down. It comes right into it. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, wow, holy crap. That's why on Twitter, if you looked, I'm like, wow, that just came all the way back down to this level. This is in a very, very dangerous scenario, in my opinion, for a crash to happen. So we're going to look at the other assets, but this is, I find this extremely fascinating. If this starts to roll over, let's look at what happened back here. Let's pull out these charts to like 8 hour and stuff, and let's see what this thing did on the 8 hour. So what do we know about the 8 hour crash? When it crashed off the 8 hour, we know that we need to get through the 200 on the 8 hour, and if we get through the 200, something like this, then it's a dangerous area, a very dangerous area. Once that happens, if we're staying above the 200 and we're staying like, you know, at the 100 and stuff, I'm not concerned. Not until you come through. You need to pull through this 200 here. If this thing starts to pull through the 200 and closes, Dow Jones is now in a danger zone. It doesn't guarantee that it doesn't just kick back up, no, but you are in a very bad place because we already have fractals, we got gaps, we got a lot of things lining up. And we know this thing has just been pumped up, artificially held up, that it's a dangerous, dangerous spot. Plus, we're going to look at NASDAQ, we're going to look at S&P. But if I'm looking at Dow Jones right now, I'm just find it fascinating that it popped up and came right back down, and now it's still continuing to roll here. Let's do it side by side, 8 hour, 8 hour. So 8 hour moving averages, not just the moving averages. Let's look at everything here. So there goes that, there goes that, and then let's go here. 8 hours. Pop this up, put this out. Okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. And that's that little fake out there. You see it? Because we were underneath. You see how we were underneath on the MACD at one point? It pushed it up, and now it's going to get back underneath. So that becomes like this little glitch, and it's almost like, are we, you know, the stochastics aren't even close to matching right now. Not that I need it to, but the one thing that I'm looking at here is this. Right here, this move and this move has took place. Came through, went through all moving averages, right? We then come down and we look at what took place here. Is that we see on the RSI, it tapped the bottom of the RSI. Tapped the bottom of the RSI. Let me size this up so you guys can see it properly. All right. So we came and tapped the bottom of the RSI. I can spread this out a little bit so it looks a little bit looks similar. What else do I got matching? Well, that took place down here, and then it took place down here. So I'm like, I got all that lined up very well. So then we had this little arc over. I was looking to fall, and as it was about to, it went the other way, but now it's coming back down with a nasty 8 hour candle. So I'm like, interesting. What do we know over here on the RSI? We knew that it came through and it pierced. It pierced the RSI right here. Pierced that. If this comes through here and pierces this and drops us a cup here, and this comes down, which it can, it runs flat like it likes to, this is going to bleed. And it's going to bleed through the 200. We are now getting major confirmation that if this is true, if it does follow, that we're aware that the stocks are probably about to crash, and it's already showing signs of it. Panic is about to happen. The news is about to happen. Let me see. Dow falls 560 points. Same surge in yields. NASDAQ sheds 3.5% and worst sell-off since. 500 points is Boeing, Apple way. So all the let me see all these news stocks here. Dow falls 560. NASDAQ sheds 3.5% worst sell-off since October. Dow drops as 10-year Treasury jumps up as 10-year yield. Dow Jones futures market rally breaks support as Treasury yields soar. Nvidia 34 minutes. Dow slides more 550 points. Dow Jones, Dallas tumbles 560. Dude, it's all going to it's just the news is going to obviously match it because it's doing what it does. It sees a fall, you know, then there's just going to be news coming out. NASDAQ slides on tech sell-off as bond yields rise. And then there's Dow Jones tech rout pulls NASDAQ 3.5%. Yeah, 3 in the NASDAQ. Biggest loss in 4 months. S&P down sharply. Stock market live. NASDAQ continues losing streak. All right, so shit like that's going to be happening, and it'll just continue and it'll get worse. So if this happens, and we're watching it, and you start to see it break down and through this, we could be sliding, and it could be pretty aggressive. So this is what I'm watching. If we put it on a daily, we can look at the daily, the way the daily looks. All right, there goes the daily. That's an ugly daily candle for Dow Jones. Okay, so we're gonna go here once again. Let me back this up here. I think this is this position that happens here. Let me get this out of here. This move here is bigger than this. This was a good size drop. This is bigger. This is worse. These candles and stuff the way it moves is gonna be very similar, but just a bigger form. So it might take an extra day or two to start really rolling it down. And I don't know what angle it takes. You see how this took this kind of angle right here, right? I don't know if this one's more out or if this one will be very similar and it's just gonna put us down. Whether it's March, April, or May, where it fully bottoms, where we'd be buying. But that's how quickly it would turn. Moving averages look great, where they can just roll over. You see how they did it before. Let me take the candles off there. So you see the moving averages, how the yellow comes through. So that's what would happen. The yellow would just fold over. Blue would go, red would kind of go a little bit like that and flatten out. So, whew. Time's about to tell, but at least we have something to watch. So the thing is with what we're doing here and what you guys should be doing is you have something to watch, to pay attention to be able to say, okay, I know what you're supposed to do. If you start showing this, then I know that we're in the danger zone and I'm aware of what's going on. But if you're not showing it and it's throwing mixed signals, then you don't have to feel as you can be like, I don't know, man, if it's gonna roll with it right now. Here goes the daily versus daily. So what I want you to look at right here. Let me turn this on. I'm gonna remove all the drawings. Remove all the drawings. What do we got here? MACD. See it crossing right here? It did the fake out like it was gonna cross, and it said no, it faked out, pushed it up, but then it came back down like it says, no, I am going to cross. I was acting like I wasn't, and I was gonna go up. No, I was acting like I was, and then I faked you out, and I said, no, I'm not, and then I said, no, I am, and I just pretty much just fucked with your mind. That's what took place right there. And then if you look at that, that's where we'd be at right here, something like that. You want to see if that does cross through, and if it does tomorrow, bad day ahead. Right here, what do we got? Well, we're right here on the RSI, and then if we were to measure on here, we would be somewhere like right here. And where are we at? We're pretty much in a very similar position. So we are not in the clear. This is it jumped back on track. We are in a very, very aware state of this falling completely and coming down. So I'm going to continue to watch this, as you guys know I'm doing. I think it comes through, but it cannot. But you guys see why I have good reason to say why it possibly could come through. It's just setting us up for a very dangerous time here. I cannot imagine either what the narrative's going to be either, guys. I have no clue. It's going to be something, but I will say this: they still got the military over there at over there in Washington for some reason. There's rumors about the militia, some militias groups looking to blow up the Capitol and kill members. Whether this is real or not, right here, right here. Justin, acting U.S. Capitol Police Chief Pittman, says militia groups want to blow up the Capitol and kill as many members as possible when Biden delivers his State of the Union address in Congress, right? So is that what's going to happen? Well, probably not, since they're telling you that. But then if it does happen, or there is something, and it gets bad, a 9/11 kind of scenario, which I hate to even say that because I'm disgusted with the 9/11 stuff. That's like one of the main terrorist events, that happened in the USA that bothers me. I just feel like it was an inside job, and I don't like what happened to a lot of people and what they probably experienced emotionally and sitting in those towers. I actually watched a movie last night regarding it, and it really bothered me. Like, I couldn't even imagine their thoughts, and their families watching it on TV, knowing their family's trapped, and they're about to lose, you know, parents, dad, you know, whatever, kids and stuff. It's disgusting. So here we are. Now let's roll over to some of these other ones, but this is what I'm watching on this, and I didn't know it closed. Let's go down to a 1 hour. I didn't know it closed that aggressive. Look at where it's pinned at right now. I could probably go to the other one, and that's because this isn't well, no, this is futures. It should be ticking away, but maybe I can't remember if they stop on some of them. Today's Thursday. Yeah, it should be ticking away still. All right, so oops. Yeah, once I go through the other two real quick, I'm going to be done with the stream. You guys can ask me questions if you want. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the March crash. So I'm not really concerned about the moving averages, but what I am looking at is something like that. So we would be right here. Let me take this off here. We would be right, we would be in here. We would be like right here, you know, because down here is our match. So this ends up coming all the way down here, which it's funny. If I pulled NASDAQ up, you're going to see NASDAQ is down here. So let me see what some of you guys are saying real quick. About Urine Finance Blondes. I don't got that one on there. I'm sorry, man. When ADA wicked down to 15 cents the other day, my order on Anchor didn't get filled. Right, because it didn't go on that one. If you had on Kraken, you would have got it. It's just drawing difference coming down. Jago, I feel you. For the stock to crash like that against went crazy. Yep, I can't imagine with the narrative. Yep, probably the Fed. If the U.S. stock market crashes, the rest of the world follows. So something massive. I agree. Took me a while to find it. What's up, Jeremiah? Trump coming back. All corrupt Dems arrested. Something's bad's happening. I don't know exactly. We'll just see. I mean, that's just what I'm looking at here, especially if this continues. If this continues, there's a narrative happening. It's about to come out. So if this starts to fall, something is about to come out. It'll be happening very soon. Like, it could even happen tomorrow. I think I got some Bitcoin cash gaps, Nick. All right, so let me swap this out. Let's go to NASDAQ. Okay, so here goes NASDAQ's. All right, look at how it's behaving. So you can see that it's and if we were sizing it up, let me remove this. If we were sizing it up against this, we would say, wow, we are down here. We are down here. We are in a very sketchy spot. But let's go and let's go to NASDAQ's one when it fell and just see what it looked like. I don't think this one looks too much similar to its old one. But like they don't even need to match fully anyways. It's kind of me just using it as best as possible, but I keep in mind that it doesn't need to. Okay. Well, this would be it. It's not too far off, but I would say that we're like here. But I mean, who knows how bad these draws can be. Yeah, I think the sizing, like I said, guys, this is bigger. It's worse. It's not going to be this move right here is going to be way more drastic. That's what it would be. Let me let's back this thing out. Let's just look at NASDAQ on its own. Let's take it to like a 4 hour and just look at what we can see with it. So here goes a 4 hour. So what do we know? Well, we got the moving averages curling over, right? Where do we have that happening before? So we have it happening down here. Comes over, comes over. What can this tell us? Well, we've seen it come through the 200, and we've seen it come through the 200 here. There's a likelihood that we're going to be coming through the 200. Now, if it comes through the 200 and the 200 starts to roll over and these are rolling over aggressive, I mean, we're going to know quickly that this isn't happening again where it's going to roll back up. We're going to know we're not rolling back up on this one. These rolled back up when they crossed over, but this one ain't doing this. So you can see it doesn't happen very often. But when it does sometimes, like this, and it rolls over, a massive crash could happen. This can be super drastic, man. Like very bad. Let me drink some water real quick. I'm not trying to be Mr. like doom and gloom guy, but the only reason why I'm thinking this way, because I'm very positive. I think crypto grows and becomes a thing. It's because I don't like the setup that I'm seeing. So it's got me thinking this way, and I should be thinking this way in my opinion. So the 4 hour, let's look at the indicators and see if we got room to go down some more. Oh yeah, look at this shit. If this pierces down on this RSI again, like this did, you saw it bled a little bit when it did that? If this comes up tomorrow, some news drops tomorrow, and this pierces down and bleeds, we got a problem. Same with this. We got plenty of room. We got room to go down. We got room to go down. The thing is that tomorrow's Friday, so after Friday, it's the weekend's going to be holding. So there could be some shit happening where everyone's like trying to sell over the weekend and know that the stocks are about to go. And then come Monday of next week, boom, Monday the March 1st, it just completely just sinks bad. That's a possibility. But yeah, I don't like these indicators. Once again, they can just spin up if they wanted to, but right now their momentum right now is showing that they probably are going to draw this down some more. So Nasdaq's going to have another bad day, and you can see that candle, that daily candle coming through the 50 right there. So if this comes down and cuts through, and we get a good close tomorrow, or or Monday through the 100 moving average, we then need to look at our history here. And said, okay, well, we kind of closed down this one right here, but it pushed back up. But what else do we need to look at? We need to look at probably indicators and stuff. What was the indicators doing there? That was at a bottom. We're approaching a bottom. We're at a bottom. It never pierced that. If this pierces the RSI, that's where it'll get bad. So once again, it's in an area right now that's very dangerous. That if this slides through one more time, and if it comes down to that 200, I think huge problem. I think we're getting our confirmation almost. I think there's a highly likelihood if this thing slides down to the 200 moving average on the daily, you might as well say there's a 70% chance we're crashing, 30% chance it bails out of there, because it'll pop up like that, right? It'll pop up like that, and just to kill some time, and then it'll come down more, because it'll just check that as like resistance or something, like what you want to call there or whatever. So that is that's how I'm looking at the Nasdaq right now. Oh, sorry, it's bleeding bad right now still. You can see that it's just sliding over. We'll see if it continues. All right, let's go to S&P 500, and then I'm done with what I wanted to show you guys. All right, so here's S&P 500, same kind of concept. I'll put the S&P over here as well. What time frame do we have to buy dips before they shoot back up? Katie, you'll have to buy wicks, you have not much time, like you might have like an hour, but to buy the bottom, you'll have days. You'll have days to buy the bottom. So I wouldn't try to time the exact bottom, but you'll have time. I wouldn't panic like let me give you an example here. So if we go down to here, down to S&P, so you can see down here, if you're buying anywhere down here, like this is the March crash. All right, so the 18th, if you bought on the 18th, 19th, 20, 23, 24 even, if you bought down here, you're buying right here. You got days down here to grab that. So anywhere in here would be the goal. You don't need to get the very bottom tip. You just get that whole thing, and you're good. And you can ride that thing up. That's my take on it. That's how I look at it. If we look at the way this is drawing, and there's obviously a ton of gaps here, we do have a similar setup, right? Comes down through the 200 here. Remember, this is a bigger version about to happen. We're kind of like right here. You see the moving averages coming through. If this turns sharp and this curls over, it'll send it down. It'll send it down more aggressively. So the 1 hour, not fully bottomed, but that's how they look like. Look at what's happening here. These are both 1 hours. If I was looking at something, let me take this off. if I was looking at something, I'm looking at this piercing this. I want to pierce the RSI. I want to pierce that down here, right? And you can see what happens on the MACD and what we should probably be doing. Come down some more MACD, and then what happens? Well, look, we're at a base down here, so we can play around down here at the base. You know what I mean? And then what does this do? It completely collapses and falls down pretty aggressively. That's what some of you guys are saying. Thanks for yeah, no problem, guys. All right, so when I'm looking at S&P 500, am I in a dangerous setup? Absolutely. Can it go up? Yeah, it can go up. But am I looking for that to happen? Not really, but it can. But we're in the moment that we can track it. We have the ability to track it. Why? Because we're kind of aware. We got a lot of signals and indicators and a fractal that's really helping us. So you guys should be able to follow this like I am. You know, I've seen somebody hit me up. I mean, look at this look right now. Look at this look right here. Right? Let me stack it. It's something like this. See if this comes down. We got a problem. See something here? If it's on. Okay. Yeah. If this comes down and it overrides it, then the slip starts slipping through. That's just a gap right there right now. But if this comes down, it's over. I think it's over at that point. There you go. March 2020, March 2021, just about. All right. Dangerous place. What was this one fall on? January 31st, January 29th, because it skips the weekend and stuff. That took place right there in that big pull down right there. You're welcome, guys. Do you have any orders in place already, or you wait to see where we go? No orders in place right now for me. I sometimes, I mean, it could be helpful when there's wicks and stuff, but I'll get them in place before I watch it so closely that I almost pull sometimes, do it live. But I sometimes don't like to let the market see what I'm trying to do. But you know, sometimes I just wait and then I move in position a couple days before or a week before. I wait till it gets a little closer. Because I'm not looking for just a wick. I'm looking for some candles. We'll go to a 4 hour. You guys are very welcome, man. Okay, so yeah, just remove this drawings, remove the drawings. What do we got? It says that we're kind of right here. We're right here, actually. Yeah. Look at that. Look at this, look at all this. Jesus. So we're coming down on the MAC. This is both 4 hours. We're coming down on the RSI. We can come through and pierce the, sorry, that's the stochastic. We can come through and pierce the RSI. We can pierce the RSI. And then the MACD can roll. This can roll over. I mean, this is something that everyone, to me, that if you're in charts and you've been charting for a while, you might want to be watching this at all. You might have this up somewhere on a screen and tracking every movement of it, because it holds a lot of weight, very valuable, because of what we're seeing right now. And we're catching it probably, if we're right, and does deem true, we just caught it before it fell. Look at this, man. Look at this, how beautiful this is. You can then say, no, I was aware of it completely and watched it and knew every move and every behavior that it did and was able to make a play on it. So so don't even let that fool you, the way it's sitting, because if that comes down tomorrow, it'll open that stochastic up and bring it down to the base. And we can come down here. If we come down and pierce the RSI, it's over. If we come down to pierce that, and once that pierces, it is a bleed. It will bleed this thing. It's pretty much over. We're crashing, hands down. That's probably what'll happen. If you can make that daily pierce down there after its move right now, it's definitely happened, man. And once we can hit up Vegas finally. Oh, you many drinks, man. Thanks, guys. That's it, man. That's what I got for you guys, and you guys are welcome. I wanted to share. There's only a small group here. That's what I wanted. I don't want to broadcast everything. And I'll even tell you guys this. I don't like sharing. Like, let's say you do find you do figure it out. Let's say you do. It's tough, but let's say somebody does. If you share it and make it a thing, I mean, I feel that these market makers, they know what everyone tells everyone. They're bullish. They're doing this. They're literally all the people on Twitter are telling everyone what they're thinking, what they're doing, their orders, like, because the orders are on the exchanges. They're telling everyone publicly. It's on all the YouTube channels. Do you really think it's hard to fool the public? No, they're showing you their cards. The public is showing you their cards. So a part of me sometimes don't even like to show it, because even though I'm not a big fish by any means, I'm still sharing something that could be accurate. And they might be like, dude, this guy's sharing. There's people like catching on and they're all believing it. Yeah, sometimes you don't even need to do it, you know, because all I do is screw myself. I keep showing it, you know. All I'm doing is screw myself. Even if I do nail it and they were switching and playing off, you know, like I said, I'm not some big account, but you never know, man. You really never know. So that's a wrap, man. Thanks, Gudaria. Tran, Krish, Jeremiah, R. Burgess, all you guys, 313. I will catch you guys later, man. So you guys know what I'm watching. So I'm gonna get back to work doing my real estate stuff. I've been real busy with that. Before I go, there's two things I need to do. One, I'll check that for you, Nick, and then also some other whatchamacallit, TNT stuff. So let me see if I have any gaps on BCH real quick. I can't remember. I do. Here you go. I got 2 charts already for BCH. Welcome to BCH. That one didn't get closed, actually. You can see how close it got. It's still sitting above it, I think. Yeah, look how close it is. Left it open. Look at that. All right, so there you go. What do we got here on BCH? We got a 187, 132, all the way down to 80. Another BCH. That one got closed. The 512 area, whatever that is. Yeah, 504. 184, 166, 115, and 76. Seems kind of crazy. Those are some gaps down there. Mick, what's up? Thank you, Chris. See you back on Twitter and IG. Love the insight always. You're welcome, guys. I'm just analytical as hell, man, and I'm just digging. I can't stop digging around. So here goes Tyrion versus TNT. And I'll just slide this over and give you guys some other angles so you guys can see how it looks. This would be it. How it would, whoops. Let me, I guess I can show like algo and stuff. I'll pull some ones that are hard to read. And I think ADA would be the best one, because you're like, well, ADAs just went up, straight up. And it's just like, yeah. So if you look at here, where it fell down right here together, you can see where we fell down together. You see the middle? What I'm doing is lining up the middle, because I already got this all lined up. So this is my guy here. These two are my guys. And it pushes up, pushes up. This one just pushed up more aggressively or at a better angle. But that doesn't negate that I can't just come down and follow this kind of behavior, because I'm looking at the full moves across the board. So ADA would be the hardest one to look at, because you guys would be like, dude, how are you even looking at this? Well, if we look at the way it fell back here, this was the March. See it when they fell together? We then push up for the middle here, right? And then that move right there is this, which is how ADA would come and just completely pull down aggressively all the way. It just needs to come down to this area here. Atom, same concept as you know, like whatchamacallit, algo comes down here off of its March drop, comes up. This becomes our point here, and then we need another move to the edge, and there's a move to the edge right there. So then it would come down. That's the best way to look at it if I was looking at it, man. Hey, Derek, I would never charge, man, for this stuff, man. I want to help. You know, obviously, I want to help if I can help, meaning that I need to be accurate at some point. I think I've done well. I've had my errors, but I've done well. There's still stuff that's still brewing, so it's not fully erased, where it's like, well, you're wrong. Well, not yet. I mean, it might be, but XRP came down through for me. If you guys saw that, that's a perfect example. It's like, Chris, you sure, man? It's at 80 cents right now. And Rudy can tell you. Rudy asked me every day, even when I was at 80 cents. It's coming back, Rudy. Sure enough, came back under sub 20. It came all the way down to 17 cents for him. I think he bought. So I'm not saying this to brag, because I'm at that point where I don't even care about being right anymore. Like, it's like bragging, but I'm trying to help myself. And if I can help a group of people that are pretty cool, then I want to help them. But if there's a bunch of douchebags, that I don't want to help them. I don't want to help them. They don't deserve to be helped. So I need to keep this stuff, you know, if it wants to come through, it needs to be towards the right people, in my opinion. I feel like I get punished if I help. I don't know. It doesn't come through if it's broadcasted, it seems. At least, I don't know. You never know. Do you think Road will follow XNS die? Yeah, man, I would just stay away from it, Aiden. I don't know if you still got some of it. They could still pop up, man. I mean, I'm just XNS, probably not, just because of what they said about it. But that Road is still pretty new, man. It could definitely like just skyrocket. Let me go to my ones that say dumped first. Let's see. Dumped first. What is AOA doing? So, yeah. So like this. It can come up here, and it very well it can shoot all the way up here, but it could come back down first, like we've seen. I wouldn't trust some of these to just, in the long term, yes, but in the short term, no, they can still pull back down. Yeah, I wouldn't play with it, man, right now. I mean, it's up to you. If you play it and it does crash down and on a bunch of assets, you might not even care about this, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter in a way, like who gets you your gains. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like whoever can get me it, I'm happy with. That's kind of my attitude. But anyways, I'm gonna go. A ton of gaps on ADA. At the beginning here, I can show you real quick though. There you go. From 8 cent all the way down to 2 cent on ADA. And AOA is AOA. Yeah. Andrews decided would rather smash hose than work for him solar. Alright guys, IOTA gaps. Do I have IOTA? I do. There you go. Not too many I got for you on this one. I got a 35 cent, 21, and a 13 there. Alexis. So I'll catch up with you guys later, man. Thanks for stopping in, and we'll see how this whole stock thing goes and if it can guide us to the bottom or to a crash. All right, I'll see you guys. Take care. Where is my live? There it is.